Nick, I call him Slick Sheridan, has to be the luckiest man on the face of the planet. Got a premier job, stunk it up in a royal groovy type of way. And he still got a job, even though he stinks. What is the world coming to, folks? Roll Tide, Alabama fans, roll tide, and welcome to Tight Sports. This is an Alabama football mega cast. You know, we are the people's Crimson Tide broadcast on whatever virtual space you can find us on. Here on Tight Sports, we talk all things Alabama football, and now we got the doggone alarm going off when they're not supposed to. Here on Tight Sports, we mostly talk football and basketball. We will talk about our ladies from time to time as they get up and down on the court, on the diamond or whatever. That's right. Whatever they're doing, we down with it. If it's Crimson Tide base, we are down with it. Which is why when it comes to sports, Crimson Tide is always making a run for a national championship. As we go along and cover these Crimson Tide happenings, we have to address the haters and doubters that won't stop from allowing their hate rising up inside of them. To them, I say, good luck in stopping the most powerful force that collegiate sports has ever known. Tide fans, greeting, and may God keep you all. Please tip a brother on the way in and place your finger on that subscribe button and link up with Tight Sports. I'm here to stimulate the happy juice in your gray matter and push it down into your funny bone from time to time. And if I'm successful at doing that, we ask that you please reach out your strong hand and poke that like button right in the eye. Tide fans, this channel is growing. Be sure to subscribe and roll with us. And with your help, we will help bless other Tide fans from around the globe. They will listen to us. They will hear us. They will say Roll Tide. They will wear their hats. They will wear their jackets. Some even people got socks. And this channel, I promise, is going to be hated. It's going to be hated by the others while they listen to us in their pea-stained draws while riding the bench of life throughout the galaxy. Let's face it, folks. There hasn't been a lot of great news. Only Porter news for Alabama over the last couple of months. Basketball stuff's been good, mostly. But most of it's just not been great when it comes to the portal. And unless you're living under a rock or just living in plain denial, you have to be familiar with the fact that now Ryan Grub is on board the Crimson Tide Championship bus. So with that, I'll take time to be modest. No, not modest. Take time to celebrate this great news that we all prayed for. We all knew this after the Tennessee game that Slick was in over his head. So to quote the great Frankie Beverly to describe how Kalen DeBoer must have felt to get his old buddy on the Crimson Tide train, Kalen probably thought to himself, there's so much going on. It's crazy. Trouble all around. I tell you something, I'm not going to let it get me down. I've been going through some funky changes all the same. We like the joy, but we really can't stand the pain. That's why Kalen's right now somewhat singing, I'm just happy to see you and me back in stride again. Oh, that rumble you heard yesterday, that wasn't the Dow smashing to the earth or a thunderstorm brewing up in your neighborhood. That was a sign of the rolling Crimson Tide swelling up, moving toward the 2025 football season. Get loud, Tide Nation. Talk that talk. No more OC in training. We got a grown man at the job now. So what's next? First of all, let's just celebrate. Let's celebrate the fact that we don't have to deal with nobody with training wheels on. Let's celebrate that we don't have nobody that's out there coaching with the strong hand. You know, we ain't got to worry about that somebody's out there having to coach out of their strong guy because for some reason the left eye just don't work. We got a grown man doing the job now. So what's next? Everybody, let's recruit. Let everybody recruit. They're doing a good job. I got more on that later. Junior weekend just happened. It was big. It was full of some of the biggest people in the nation. That's going well. Grub will get into that. But right now, QB is the focus. Ty Simpson, Keelan Russell, Austin Mack, some kid I ain't never heard of. Grub was OC at Washington when they signed Mack. Now, I'm a Ty guy now. I'm all for Ty Simpson, but I'm all for winning. But when they signed Austin Mack, did he see something in Austin Mack that he saw in Michael Penix? Time will tell. I'm thinking Ty. But whatever helps us to win. And more on Grub for a second. Ryan Grubb's coaching philosophy centers on explosiveness. Like that word. I like that word. As long as it's running explosiveness as well as, passing. Physicality. Favorite word of mine when watching a football game. I'm reminded of the flag football game I watched by some young fellas. They were wearing shoulder pads and a helmet. Flags on this side. I'm still confused as to what was going on there. And great confusion for defenses aiming to dominate through a dynamic and tailored offensive strategy. You hear that, Slick? Confusing. See, you're not supposed to telegraph your play, Slick. The guy not supposed to see it coming. Like, for instance, but running Milrow out of 5 wide is not that big a surprise. What is surprising to the hundreds of thousands of people that was in Neyland Stadium is you allowing Jalen Milrow throw the ball 44 times. That was nice try. Didn't work. Grub prioritizes maximizing player strengths, adjusting run and pass plays to suit the capabilities of the roster. You mean he don't just take the running backs, 5 stars, and just put them on the shelf, put them inside of mason jars to save them for the NFL or something, or for the transfer portal? He did a good job out there at Seattle. Kenneth Walker had a big year. Zach Charbonnet had a big year. Seattle, I heard it was a toxicity thing between the general manager, the president, and what he was doing, and he just got tired of it, and he probably told him where to get off, and they showed him the fifth man portal where he could just jump to the portal and get on out of the Seahawks thing. And I know somebody in his family was worried about moving to Alabama. Maybe they didn't like Alabama. They didn't want to be in Alabama. That's fine. Maybe they didn't like living in the unemployment line. So they said, Alabama don't sound too bad right about now. I take offense to that when I hear that kind of thing, if that's true. It's worse places you can live. Most of them not in the United States. Some of them are. Alabama ain't one of them. Tuscaloosa certainly ain't one of them. There's some places in Alabama I don't want to live, but it ain't Tuscaloosa. Anyway, hopefully Coach Grub will be able to develop the offensive line into a B+ or better group with some backups. Like this guy comes in, he know what he's supposed to be doing because he was about to be there, but he didn't make it there. Another guy was starter, and he was better than that guy. So, you know, that kind of stuff. 7 of them, a strong group, like they had up there in Washington. Hoping, I'm just hoping now. No, he's a player development guy, you know, and he needs to focus on getting us an effective QB. Would love to say somebody's going to turn into Michael Penix, but I've read enough on Michael Penix to know that his arm talent, or I should say left, his arm talent is something you just don't pull off of a grocery store shelf. You don't find it at Walmart. You know, last thing Ryan Grub needs to do, this is like, you know, a 90-day plan of mine, maybe even 30 days. He needs to schedule a meeting with Slick. It need to be a performance review. Yeah. Come on in, Slick, sit down, you know, bring your clipboard. Let's talk about it. And they need to immediately review every game situation for about 2 days straight. Just block off the time. He ain't doing nothing. He ain't wasn't doing nothing when he supposed to be doing something. Just block off the time. Oh, yeah. Coach Shepard, you come on in too. See, a lot of people, they forget about the fact the man who said he wasn't worried about the noise at Tennessee, somebody told me that he was one of the premier wide receiver coaches in the nation. Although we only had 2 wide receivers and one of them came ready built, nobody else got developed into, I don't know, productive people, productive enough to catch the ball from Milrow or whatever. Could have been Milrow, could have been the players. I don't know, 2 left. Well, really, 4 left. 4 or 5 left. 4 receivers left. Coach Shepard, you obviously got a problem building a relationship with players. So, you know, you get a little half the emotion too. Because you was in there with Slick saying, yeah, Slick, that's going to work. That's what they need to see. Yeah. Do that, Slick. No. But as soon as they sit down and go through these games and say, what was you thinking right here? Well, you shouldn't have been thinking that. What was you thinking right here? Well, you shouldn't have went to the bathroom and called that play while you was in the bathroom. Just block off time and go through the plays and help that man get better. But place him on an immediate needs improvement program and reducing his pay to whatever salary is commensurate with his new role as the running game coordinator. I was about to say running back coach. We don't need him over there because obviously them guys do not like him. He can be the running game coordinator, or maybe he could be the tight ends coach again, or maybe he could be the CWBS. That's the chief water bottle shaker. He just, you know, he gets the bottle, he fills it with water and the powder of choice, whether I don't know if they're a Gatorade team or something new or Powerade, or maybe they doing something they do in the NBA or mixing up their own concoctions. And you let Nick just shake that bottle up for everybody so nobody hurts themselves. Or that herky-jerky emotion. We don't want our players have to go into training because of that. But what can we expect, man? I think we can expect this year to see more than we saw last year. But if 2022 is any indication to tell me where we're going, when Ryan Grub was the offensive coordinator for Kalen DeBoer in Washington, their offense was pretty phenomenal. They were 6th in the country, 6,705 yards for a season. 6,700. That's a lot, y'all. First in passing. I don't expect to see first in passing next year. Don't know if we have that arm talent they had at Washington named Michael Penix, who is now going to be the starter going forward for the Atlanta Falcons. But they average 370 yards a game. We'd love to see us at 325 on a good, on a good weekend. They were second in total offense at 515 a game, which gave them 145 yards rushing. I like to see it a little higher. I like to see the pass. And like I said, pass is going to be a little lower. So if we went up to about 160, that'll be okay. But even more important, they were 7th in the nation in scoring at 39.7 yards per game. Now, they did all that with a solid line, generational arm talent in Michael Penix, who was nominated for the Heisman. I think he won the Maxwell Trophy or something. And like I said, they had the offensive line was just awesome. I think they won I can't think of the name of the line award. It's the only group award we have. They won it. But if we can get 88 to 90% of that production, 88 to 90% of that type of production, so that will put us around little over 6,000 yards total. You know, and you couple that with the great job that Kane Womack is doing at defense, and he talked about it. He wants to shave off some of that rushing yardage. They were giving up like 140 a game. They want to get that thing down under 100, but if he gets that down by 30, I think we can see ourselves going into the dance of 12. What do they call it now? The playoffs? Yeah, I don't like that name. We got to come up with some snazzy, something that rolls off the tongue. But if we do that, I think we'll get in there. Hands down. We will be in the playoffs if we can get that going. Let's see. Yeah, that's right. Oh. And I know the haters are mad about that. To quote the great Prime, when he said 2 years ago, he said, "Get us now." When he was taking them live, he said, "Get us now." I think y'all missed the haters. I think y'all missed the window to get us. You may have missed your window because the window was wide open. We took 4 to the head. 2 of them we wasn't supposed to take. I don't care who was against. 2 of them we shouldn't took. We took them. But I think you missed your window, haters. Lord knows Miro had issues. But overall, our weakest link in our chain was the offensive coordinator. It was offensive coordinator. You could have took the game out. You could have took the ball out of Miro's hand. You could have put it in the running back's hand. You could have put it in Ty Simpson's hand. You could have said, "Coach, we really need to change that quarterback." But you didn't. You kept putting him out there, and you kept making him run the ball like his name was Newt Rodney. Now, I don't even know how accurate it is. I don't know how Newt Rodney actually played football, but it seemed like something they would have did back in the day. Red Granger and all of them, just get the ball and just haul off running. Knowing doggone well, that ain't how football should be played in this decade. But let me ask this. Of all the old offense coordinators in FBS, and there has to be maybe 134. I want to ask this before I answer. What percentage of offensive coordinators coaching in FBS from number 1 to number 133, I think it's 133 or 134, what percentage of those coaches could have done a better job than Slick, a man who had never done it before? Do you think 90% of them could have done better than Slick? 20% could have done better than Slick? 45? What do you think? You tell me, folks. Just tell me. I wait for somebody to hit me in the chat. Just tell me what percentage you think. But here's a side note. Should Alabama cancel the 8A game? Can Alabama afford to cancel the 8A game? Matt Rule out there in Nebraska say he's sick and tired of these people tampering with his team. They tampering in the summer, 2 days. They tampering in the spring. They tampering in the morning, the night. They tampering in the fourth quarter, and they tampering at kickoff. So Matt Rule has said, if y'all want to tamper with my team, you're gonna get a blind play. You're gonna go blind. You're just gonna say, I think we want that guy based on what he did in college. A lot of these guys are coming in, showing out in the spring. They show potential, or they show more potential than people thought. Like, oh, he could do this against grown people. Oh, they say he's one of the fastest on the team as a freshman, but he may not get much playing time. Let me call around. There's a guy over here in Nebraska that runs a whatever. He bench pressed this. Storm slapped the middle linebacker and made him start crying. Y'all think y'all get that man $250,000 more than what he's getting today? Matt Rule said he's tired of it. They are considering. I don't know if it's a goal yet, but he said he's tired of it. He's going to forego the spring game. And with that, he may as well close spring practice for good. Don't tell him nothing. I think it's a bold move. But I think about I listened to Coach Norvell, the wild man from Colorado State. He was talking about how tampering has been going with his team. The tampering that happens with his team is not been done by a law firm or some recognized agent. He said it's just as simple. These people get up and they start calling schools just out of the blue. Somebody that's got the gift of gab. Somebody like me. I just start calling LSU. I call Memphis. I call some North Carolina, somebody with some money and say, hey, you got that guy, Keelan Russell. I don't think he's going to be happy if he's not named the starter. I mean, they talked to him about starting, but I mean, allegedly he's going to make like $500,000 just sitting on the bench. But if y'all need a quarterback, I see your quarterback's graduating next year. How much you think you guys are paying if he came over? If he jumped in the portal in May, How much would y'all pay him? They do this over and over, 3 or 4 different schools. Then they get on X. They get on Instagram. Then they contact Ayla Russell. These people don't even know the people they're trying to represent. Which goes back to my point from earlier conversations on Iron Bowl Debates. Join us Wednesday at 6 and on Fridays. Have your subscriptions turned on. Please subscribe. Turn on your notifications. You got to have a union. That's how you can't do it in the NFL. If you're not recognized by the NFL Players Association, you can't be no agent. So you ain't got no business calling nobody. But these people in college, they call it everybody. They're calling people representing somebody at the University of Buffalo, for instance, and you selling them to every school in Mississippi. Southern Miss, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, where you know they got a little money, maybe even Jackson State. I don't know, because going to Jackson State from University of Niagara or Buffalo, it may be an upgrade. You know, cute women and nothing else, and a better sounding band. I don't even know if Buffalo even have a band. But this is nuts. You got to stop this, but it's not going to stop, because what happens? Kids jump in the portal. Sometimes it works. One guy was on Twitter trying to justify why he deserved 20% of these kids' money. And the official agents was like, "No, you shouldn't be giving up more than 3 to 5%. I'm like, you got a mom and a dad. I don't think you should be giving up anything. Or uncle, or pastor, or friend of the family, or neighbor next down the street. I don't know if it's 3 to 5% is what it takes to call up a school and say, hey, yeah, you saw me. I was a 4-star last year. I was sitting on the bench. I'm kind of red-shirted. I would love to play for you. You on my list, by the way, of my top 20 schools. You were number 19. I hear y'all running back is not going to be, is leaving, or he got hurt in the spring game on TV. I can come over and help out with that if y'all can help me out. Well, how much you getting, son? I'm about 150. I think we can do 200. Gone. Got to take care of mom. Got to take it. Think about it. But I thought that's interesting. I don't know if they should do it. I don't know if they can do it. I don't know if Alabama can or should do it, but it's interesting. We're going to watch. But this man is tired of people tampering, and he's had it. Also in news today or early, the news has got my head spinning. Chip Kelly leaves Ohio State to become head coach? No! To become general manager? Did he buy the Raiders? Not even close. Chip Kelly takes a kind of a lateral move, but probably doubles his money to become the offensive coordinator for the Raiders. Now, wait a minute. What? Well, he don't have to deal with contracts for real. He's operating in a set of rules if he does decide to become a head coach again, like he did in Philadelphia, tragically. But here's the backstory. This thing is amazing, man. Ryan Day worked for Chip Kelly when he was with the Eagles during that disastrous moment in NFL history. Yeah. Dude got, they got history. To go even further than that, when Chip Kelly reached out for a lifeline to escape the stresses and strains of the trauma of the portal, who was there to rescue Chip Kelly out of his terrible situation over there? Was it UCLA or USC or one of them having to deal with the portal? How did he escape? Ryan Day reached out a hand, said, come on, man. You know I got you. You had me. But I'll go even further than that. Y'all know where Ryan Day played football? Ryan Day played football. Matter of fact, he was a quarterback at the University of New Hampshire. Oh, that was a while back. Ryan Day is 45. I thought that was just for me, but that's his dark black hair. Power to you, bro. Still need shaved off your face. Look like you about to change at midnight. Anyway, the offensive coordinator who worked with Ryan Day at quarterback, who helped him to establish 4 career records in passing, was none other Chip Kelly. So it seems like they got a kind of a uncle, nephew, father, son, OG, youngin relationship. And you mean to tell me if this man done reached out a lifeline and pulled Chip Kelly out of his depression of dealing with the portal, with connections that ran that deep, he just gave it up and go work for Pete Carroll. Boy. I would almost say Chip Kelly almost worse than the kids going into the portal that they talked about and complained about so much. Huh? Hey, you can't trust nobody. Man, not Ryan Day up there. He got the dark hair. That's natural. Probably hadn't been adjusted or tinted or anything. And he ain't got no offense coordinator. He ain't got no defense coordinator. Boy, that's something else. But here, while all this is going on, when Pete Carroll gets his guy, all the while, a true master was at work. Talking about connections that run deep. The Raiders got a new 5% minority owner, and his name is Tom Brady. The same Tom Brady who they had calling Bryce Underwood. You should go over here, man, because, we need you. We need you. Do you think he got Chip Kelly away from Ohio State to help out his Michigan Wolverines who kind of struggling right now? Oh, of course he did. Tom Brady, you should be applauded, sir, for shanking Michigan's biggest rival right in the press box. I mean, Kelly is turning from a son-like figure to what I think brings joy to the GOAT. I love a good backstabbing in the air. It smells like victory. Well played, GOAT. Well played. Ryan Day, he's at the top of the college football world and still standing on square one at the same dang time. We've all been there, Christian Nation. We know how you feel, Ryan Day. We don't like you. We're going to kick your butt as soon as we get a chance. But we feel for you. Just kick that man right in the back. Boy, Tom Brady's back there like weaseling. Well played, man. That's all I can say. Well, on to recruiting. Xavier Crowell, a 4-star running back out of Jackson High School in Alabama, is a member of the class 2026 after reclassifying from the class 2027 earlier this month. He is quoted as saying that he wants to be another legend in Alabama. He says he was supposed to come in town for the junior day they had, and he was joined by 4-star commit Zion Gibson. He is the only person that's officially committed. Alabama has so many people on campus this past weekend. I didn't get a final list. I did see a lot of key players. Gibson is listed at 6'1", 174 pounds. He has a personal 100-meter dash at 10.63. What did Usain Bolt? Did he do 9.63? Yeah, my 100-meter, I won't call it a dash, 100-meter drive, it's about that fast. I come in at about 10 point. I got a sedan, so it's like about 10.2. If I had a Porsche, it'd be like 40 seconds. But I don't have no dang Porsche. Gibson displays all kind of explosiveness and on both sides of the ball, so he can go either way as he did at Garden City. Some of the people that visited, on the schedule to visit Alabama on Saturday, 5-star Brandon Ayrton. I think he made it out of Spring, California. Man, you had Jordan Edmonds out of Marietta, Georgia. Muscle Shoals, centers a defensive lineman. Mr. Johnson, I won't mess up his first name. Yeah, Anthony Jones, Kevin Ford. My understanding, Alabama was scheduled to have 6 of the top 25 juniors in the country, half of the top 10 in Alabama. So they've done a good job. I was complaining last week, clamoring. I want to see some names on the wall. Well, they're stirring the pot now, and I'm thinking this Ryan Grub thing is going to really, this announcement is going to really make people take a look and say offensively, they know where we're trying to go. Kamari Brooks, Sincere Johnson out of Cleveland, Ohio. And some of these people are going to be hard gets, but I feel good about the people that's coming out of Georgia. Chris Booker, offensive lineman. Another offensive lineman, Grant Wise out of Milton, Georgia, 4-star. We already talked about Xavier Crowell. When I first saw the name Xavier Crowell, I know the people I grew up with, they are big Auburn fans. I started typing. I said, this Crowell, if he Crowell from anywhere in East Central Alabama, hey, they need to cancel his barbecue plate because he don't even try to bring him over. But it was a different, he's from Jackson, Alabama. That's a little a different direction. So I'm thinking he's a different set of Crowells. Tristan Keys, 5-star wide receiver out of Hattiesburg, Mississippi. That's going to be a hard get. That's going to be a hard get because you got, Ole Miss got money to spend. Cedarion Morgan out of Alexander City, Alabama. Hopefully we can work with that. And Xavier McDonald out of Morton, Mississippi. So Brooks, Keys, Sincere, all top 15 in their position. They named the Crimson Tide in their top schools this week. And, we're just really excited about when that signing day comes or whatever they're doing, or it's not called signing day, it's called something, commitment day, whatever. We got a couple people that they're supposed to have come to town who may have already committed to other schools, but the guys gotta stay after them. You never know what may change somebody's mind. They may think that we have, we got space for them. The development may be there. They may see a person. They may want to do what Ryan Williams did. They may want to do what, Jerry Bernard has done. They may want to do what other players done. You never know what turns them on, but we're going to try our best. And before we get out of there, got to say something about our basketball team. They kicked some butt. Oh, they kicked some butt the other day. Now, few basketball notes. It was a tough game. Alabama played against Mississippi State on Wednesday. And it just came down to superior execution, the reason the Tide was able to win. They won the rebound battle by 6 because they lost the turnover battle by 5. That's how close the game was. 6 rebounds, superseded 5 turnovers. And the final score, 88-84. Some of that was free throwing and all that kind of stuff. That was a game that saw Mark Sears return to the court, give us 17. He had 9 assists, and even Lil Mark had 6 rebounds. Grant Nelson had 15 points, but Chris Youngblood was the man of the day. The man was 70% from three-point line. That don't mean a lot. Like I say, 70%. How do you get 70% in a three-point line? The man was 7 for 10 from three-point line for 23 points. He had 2 field goals, two free throws, and 7 3-pointers. That's it. He was on fire, folks. Plain and simple. And the next game, I'm going to tell you, I didn't even watch the next game that much. Nate Oates issued the Bulldogs a beatdown on Saturday. I didn't even watch the last 4 to 6 minutes of that game. UGA basketball is atrocious and a complete utter waste of my time. I had kids in the room. I didn't want to mess up their future watching UGA play. Alabama monkey stomped them 90-69. 90-69. I know sometimes my Macon County accent get mixed up. I mean, Georgia's hard. God bless Anthony Edwards for going to that school because they're terrible. They're absolutely terrible. In that game, Mark Sears had 20. Chris Youngblood had 10. And it was really interesting. They didn't shoot as many threes. Shot a lot of threes, I guess, considering. They shot 26 threes. But they did it really from 2-point land. They just backdoored these guys to death. I mean, just, here and just 2-pointing them right at the rim. They just gave it up. Like I said, Alabama will shoot 2-point shots if you give them the rim. And Georgia was like, here you go. Let's see. Grant Nelson had 16. I said that. Jaron Stevens and one of our other starters, he had 8 points. And we had Aiden Sherrill came off the bench with 12. I don't even remember that. Aiden Holloway had 10. Now, I'm just saying, Georgia, you need to get yourself together, man. Get yourself together because that was just terrible. You can't stand this. We're not doing what we did back in the 80s where we didn't care. You got your Dominique every once in a while. We got a couple players, a McDice, every once in a while we had somebody. No, we ain't doing it. We actually playing. We playing, dude. I mean, get yourselves together, Georgia. Just don't put it on the football field, man. Put it everywhere. We taking over sports. We're taking over collegiate sports, all of it, especially the 2 big money ones, man. We gotta get it together, man. Y'all 3-6 in the conference. Are we gonna have to put y'all in the ACC where the terrible teams are now? Playing against Duke. Duke is still there, but the other teams are terrible. Shout out to you, Georgia Tech. But golly, 3-6. Y'all looking at 500 right off. Well, good luck in the NIT. That's all I can tell you. But that's all I got for this week, folks. Remember to join me here every Monday at 7:30, unless it's a major holiday. I will be here. Please poke that like button right before you get out of here. Poke it so the algorithm will know I'm still alive out here. Please remember to join me Wednesday with my main man DC of Auburn Addicts at 6 p.m. on Wednesday and an unknown time on Friday. We're trying to move that thing down later. We don't know if it'll be live, be recorded, but we will do something because we got a lot to talk about. Just join us. Bring your happy fingers, and I'll provide the deep thoughts and laughs. We will talk mostly football and basketball, basically how Alabama is better than Auburn in really every aspect of life because we are the program that's pretty much the best to ever do it. But we might just discuss whether Aquaman would show any kind of effectiveness in a desert fight. I mean, trust me, opinions may vary on that. Some people say, well, it's water up. I don't know. You take Aquaman to the desert? For what? For what? Anyway, click on the notification so when we drop a video or go live, you won't miss a thing. Tell your friends all about us. I'm here on YouTube at Tight Sports, Blue Sky, and Facebook, and I'm Tight Sports Talk on X. Go over and support the Sharpshooters podcast because they rolling with the tide. And relieve your stress, you can check out Auburn Addicts. Go to Water Cooler Talk Podcast. Water Cooler Talk Podcast was down there on the scene. My man, Nick, getting it in on the field after the Super Bowl. I looked up. I said, who's that, Greg Coleman? He going on. Oh, no, that's Nick. That's Nick. Nick on the field with a microphone with the big fuzzy thing up in the guy's face. I said, man, going on, man. Nick out here doing that thing. Boy, so proud of that dude right there. Check out Bub and the old man. They are all three of those. They're War Tiger fans, but they are a fine group of Americans. And that's what we need, more fine Americans. Go check them out for hysterical laughter, if nothing else, as they try to figure out how are they going to win a championship this decade. I don't see it. I don't see it. They just helped me build my belief. I did have somebody in the chat. It's me chiming in with, say, what do you know about the wide receiver from Miami? He was a number 2 guy. I can't remember if the boy and them had a relationship with him coming out of Washington, but kind of like he was number 2 guy. The other guy, he was a lot to live up to. I just think that it was an opportunity for us to get somebody with some proven experience to go in with Ryan Williams. Is Jeremy coming back? Yeah, I think Jeremy's coming back for his last year as well because we lost so many receivers. So we got a guy. I'm really more looking forward to the guys coming from if you go look at the list, the guys coming over from NC State. He was a player over there. He made headlines even though the team did not. But thank you for checking in with me. It's me. That's all I know about that guy. And like I said, now he did have Cam Ward throwing him the ball, so hopefully we can get him something decent over here. Cam Ward he ain't Michael Penix, but he's pretty good. He was really good. But with that, we'll see you next time, guys. Right here on the herd. Thoughts and prayers out to everybody that's going through, no matter what it is, from California, sea to shining sea. Prayers for everybody. And you know how I do it. And always remember, roll, tide, roll.